offense because of how Kungarna's been playing defense on this map. It's kind of an older school defense where they sit very far back. They give up all the push through the car wash and they let Baby Bay set up over top. That's where soldiers used to set up all the time before these aggressive defenses came in, and a great counter to that is a Widowmaker, and that's exactly how I dance. I thought they mocapped me for this animation.
I was thinking the same thing, and it's actually, for me, it just goes, you know what? No matter how bad I dance, Winston is giving me hope that I might not be the worst dancer on planet Earth.
Yeah, I mean, I got all my moves from Travolta in Pulp Fiction, and that's how he dances, and I feel like that's a good way to emulate it. So here we are kicking off. Luminosity Evil will be on the defense in Watchpoint Gibraltar.
There we go, Baby Bay on the Widowmaker. Again, looking to punish any early dive attempts that could be coming up from LG, but remember how LG usually likes playing here. They do still favor indoor areas, although, look at this, the aggression on the Baby Bay, and they find him early on, so works out.
Yeah, LG Evil has a lot of different styles that they can play. They can play this very aggressive style because they have all the heroes that can do it, but if they want to, they can also just camp into a server room if things start going bad and run a bunch of tanks. So they're a very versatile team. They're not necessarily a one style, are going to beat you with this, but they can play everything.
Certainly can, as Jake can dispatch Mykles here in the car wash area, though now you see for Kungarna, they are starting to get some picks to make this work out, as Jake stuck here and back, but support comes in for him here, and LG Evil should be able to restabilize just a bit, or at least back out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they want to set up now, because you mentioned they did get the pick there, so that's going to slow down the push as the Zenyatta is now out of it. Dogman so important to this team, and we're going to have a moment where we pause and reset.
I'm back.
You never left.
No, yeah, that was not what I expected as far as the short time period. But we already are seeing a lot. I like how you're talking about the flexibility of LG Evil. And this is something that maybe as we've seen them experience growing pains, this is the end result. And they've also seen playstyle improvements. I mean, we saw Train just then going really ham, actually shutting down Baby Bay on that Widow and forcing Baby Bay off.
It was a little bit surprising, too, because generally speaking, LG Evil historically would give more room and go, okay, we're going to fight this in the back room. And I think that's what Kungarna expected. And then out of nowhere, they shift gears. They dive right in, and they find Baby Bay. They take him out, and they get rid of a lot of the offensive pressure that otherwise could have been coming in.
This is a map they used to like to just win a war of attrition on. 3 tanks, 4 tanks, server room, come to us, and when we find that right angle, we'll take it. But as you see, they're taking a page out of a different book here. What was really cool about that Widow kill, I think, was that it wasn't just the Tracer. There was good communication there because the finishing blow was the Helix Rocket, which you have to be able to hit if you're going to be a good Soldier 76 in this game.
If you think back to when LG Evil was at their most dominant, when they looked unstoppable in the Carbon series and they were really making a name for themselves, they did it very heavily off their initiations. And they were very comfortable on 3-tank initiation. But it was when you sort of shifted to a more Winston-centric meta that we are now in that LG Evil had trouble finding their safe zone. They tried to sort of grab battles in areas that they're more familiar with, but the fact that they seem to be more comfortable now in engaging with more mobile compositions, it's working out for them.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how those tanks actually adapt in being able to engage. Super, of course, a very well-known Reinhardt player, now going to be playing a little bit more Winston in recent months, and he's been doing a fine job, so we're going to see how well they are able to incorporate that. Vol has always been a big question on the team.
Yeah.
And I think that 2-2-2 really suits them because he has had some ultimate, ups and downs on Zarya.
That's kind. It's a kind way to say it.
I don't know. I mean, I guess ultimates he's had mostly downs.
His regular Zarya play has always been fine.
Yeah.
We've always talked about it. Vol's vanilla Zarya is great. His tracking's good. His energy's high. He does a lot of damage. And then when it comes to that moment to use the grav, it's been underwhelming.
Yeah, and then of course with D.Va being so prominent right now, the ability to have someone to play that, and I'm curious to see in this matchup how he is able to stick onto Baby Bay. We talked about that as being a potential way of shutting down this Kungarna team. I mean, curious to see how they utilize D.Va, because D.Va can do that.
It's also going to be interesting when they run triple DPS, because Vol was playing a little bit of McCree earlier, not necessarily lighting the world on fire, but they do want to toy with the idea of running triple DPS. And you know that Jake and Train can play certain heroes, but what can Vol flex onto?
The thing is for McCree is that even if your McCree isn't as high as it should be, you can still find ways of making the flanking DPS respect it and not dive as hard. Yeah. Either way, we are back into game, and LG Evil picking up where they left off. They're going to be cleaning Kungarna out of this first point and they're going to be able to fully restabilize as a result.
Yeah, and you look at the alts, and it just shows you the story of how it's gone so far. It's been mostly Luminosity gaming evil, as they will come up with nearly every single one of their ultimates online, and I would really like to see them use them reactionarily. I don't want to see them initiate with the ults. You're on defense, wait, use them as counter ults.
Well, Train certainly might be looking for the Pulse Bomb in the back to start things off with a bang.
Yeah,
Didn't like what he saw, so he's going to go back with the rest of his team. LG Evil, though, definitely an advantage going to this fight, and this is tough for Kungarna because if they lose this fight, they're going to be looking at only about a minute to turn this around. So time pressure, already a big deal. And LG Evil, they're going to take the fight in the server room. D.Va goes right in, drops a self-destruct, and Dogman is going to fall immediately. It's Tanks really leading the way here for LG Evil, and the great initiation makes things very tough for Kungarna.
It was a nice initiation from Volt coming over the top and getting that self-destruct on. It caused chaos in that room. If there's one place I don't ever want to fight LG Evil, it's the server room on Gibraltar, time and again.
But the funny thing is how LG Evil is setting that up, where in the past they just sat in the room. This time they said, wait, they're in the room. Everyone engage. So I do feel like they've upped their initiation game quite a bit compared to some of their more recent outings. That's in Kungarna. A minute 30 left to go in. They have Sound Barrier and Tac Visor. This is a very good window for them, because even though the Sound Barriers may cancel out here, Hex, Baby Bay, if he can get good position, can turn this around.
Yeah, the Tactical Visor will come out from Baby Bay, as the Sound Barrier already initiated the fight. Still does not find the kills he's looking for right off of the bat, and Vol will take down Poops. The damage now has completely eliminated the supports for Kungarna. They've got to back out. This fight's been over.
That was a brutal Tactical Visor. Baby Bay used that Tactical Visor at a time where he didn't really have clear targets. He was knee-deep in the server room, and LG Evil, again, just floods in and dominates.
And dying very late there, too, was Baby Bay. So we are down to the last push here for the Kungarna offense. They do have another support ultimate up. It's not quite as good as Sound Barrier in my opinion as initiating, but they're all going to have to stick with Dogman and hope that his Transcendence brings them to life. But Jake nearing another Tactical Visor, very likely going to get the boost from Rob as well.
Well, they're going straight in up the gut here, and it does play to how they have to go through this. They have to use the Transcendence to their advantage. They find Train early on, and now the 6v5 setup, this is going to make things more difficult for LG Evil. They do have ultimates that delay and turn this back. Tac Visor up from Jake, super primal range. He's going to get in and disrupt, and Jake right now desperately trying to make room to Tac Visor this down.
Yeah, he does use the Tac Visor up on that ledge. He's got tanks all over him. Dogman's still sitting in the back. Jake will finally fall as it is back and forth. Baby Bay now has taken the high ground over from Jake, trying to get this damage going extremely back and forth, but the support's coming in, picking up kills of their own.
Well, it's a bit of a soldier swap in Baby Bay. A Tac Visor of his own over the top. Perfect position to clean up on kills. And though they need to use every bit of time, Kungarna will enter into the hangar phase here on Gibraltar, and now some momentum going in their favor.
It was a great job by the Kungarna tanks to continually rotate and harass Jake up top. So you saw the Winston go up, he get a little low, then he's out. You saw the D.Va come up, the Winston. It was just great to be rotating that damage, and Jake was extremely not effective in that last fight.
So this is difficulty here for the defense. They don't have a lot to work with, and they have to retake high ground. Kungarna, if they can win this fight, they can solidify, take second quickly, and reclaim some lost time. However, you take a look at LG Evil coming back in. They are able to reclaim the high ground. They get better positioning, and Kungarna just going to lob the self-destruct up there, hoping for anything, doesn't connect. Both teams trading out poke.
Yeah, zoning also. Sound Barrier did go down for the side of LG Evil, but they're not able to capitalize on it, getting 0 kills after that, even with the giant health goals. Super does take down Mykles. That's going to open things up for Train a little bit on the ground. He's going to be getting healed up. A late Transcend comes in there. It's been very odd where this fight's taking place.
It's certainly weird. Kungarna, though, they're able to demech Vol, and Baby Bay opened up, able to find Vol, finish off the kill. Meanwhile, Jake, struggling here in the back, does have room from his tank, so this is a bit of a scrappy fight. However, Super now opening things up in the back line. This is creating space for Jake, and he's going to be able to go in a lot deeper very soon.
Super has done his job phenomenally today. He's taken down supports time and again. All the supports, again, down for Kungarna, so any damage that they take is going to be permanent. Still, the damage is not coming in necessarily quick enough, and hey, there's some heal. Buy out a grenade on the ground. They found some heal.
Indeed. Sound Barrier going to come in here from LG Evil as they desperately try and hold on. They do have respawns coming in. The Pulse Bomb connects, and now it's LG Evil able to swap this right back.
Super able to clear out the shuttle. They're going to have to hold very far back here, though. The notions of holding the high ground have passed them. They need the cart to pull back a little bit. You don't want to get back capped here. With only 3 meters, it's entirely possible. So now that the cart is moving away from that objective, they will find a little bit different position here, as Super will leap up to the top now and try to get a lot of entry damage. Pops his Primal Rage off.
This is great disruption coming from Super.
Yeah.
That is the fighting game combo you do not want to be a part of. Baby Bay just terrified by the cheapness of that. And you look at LG Evil. Now they're delaying the way they need to. It's a 5v5 fight. Kungarna, hopes and dreams on the self-destruct, remix delaying, and the tank play from Kungarna able to open things up. They're not out of this here just yet.
This is such an interesting battle where it's been the tanks on both sides of these teams really dictating the pace of this game. A little Lucio kill towards the end. They will grab second point in the 25th hour.
Well, Kungarna, if nothing else, when time is not on their side, they're able to find a way to extend. If they're able to do it one more time, they will complete the map. A minute 15 remaining for them here, and Baby Bay couldn't ask for better positioning.
This is perfect, and as LG Evil, you need to find an answer to this immediately. Their answer was to just send a diva towards him. Baby Bay knows that he is going to get evicted. That is the battle that you have to win on Gibraltar last, is that ledge for soldiers. There's also another ledge further back, but ideally you want to get one of your soldiers up there.
LG Evil does have time to reestablish, so the good position Kungarna had a little bit gone, but they're going to go in with the sound barrier. It's a nice engage to start things out. Baby Bay looking for anything on this tag visor and actually not able to get much at all. LG Evil rope-a-doping this. The counter sound barrier is in. Will they get the kills they need here? Not quite. They still lose 3 people, so that sound barrier not really working out for LG Evil in the beginning. Now it's turned into more of a brawl.
It's been very odd the sound barriers have just had such little effect from LG Evil. Avas is not necessarily using them in a bad spot, but the follow-up has not been there. They're not being as aggressive you need to be if you're going to open with a sound barrier like that. However, Jake and Super are the ones who shine when this team needs them the most. They will grab a couple of kills before Super goes down, but 12 seconds left here, last push.
The defense is coming back in force. Remix is going to go down. This is a good situation for LG Evil. They just need a little bit more. If they can stop Mykles from laying the pulse bomb, which they do, now Kungarna, they have to be all in. The Transcendence is out. They're moving in and just looking for anything to keep this going. Mykles trying to challenge Jake on the high ground, running into difficulties here.
Oh, he's got Vol up there trying to protect him. I like what they're trying to do to take down Jake and get that high ground. Mykles went up there with Baby Bay because they want to get Baby Bay up there. If they can get their own soldier up there, they can close out this offense.
It is do or die here for Kungarna, but right now it is appearing to be more die than do, as Luminosity Evil able to clean up the last 2 people on the payload and stop Kungarna from getting the full completion.
They did clutch out a couple of those points that they really needed. It was looking that Kungarna could possibly not even take first objective, but just a stick-to-itiveness, able to take the high ground. I think that the way to beat Kungarna is not a very difficult or complicated one. Can you take the soldier off the high ground? I mean, these are not complicated notions.
Well, they're certainly doing a good job of challenging Baby Bay relatively strongly throughout the most of that, and we do have a pause going on here, so some technical difficulties going on the players. It is the internet.
I've never had internet problems.
Yeah,
Have you?
Unfortunately, yes. In recent
I can't imagine that the viewer base has ever experienced anything either. So we'll just move on from that and talk about Super shutting down Dogman. He was continually hopping into that back line.
Yeah.
How much of that was contributing to them able to stop them as well as they were able to?
Super was doing his job perfectly. I think he had a great game that he should be proud of, and Super should be proud of his Winston play lately. Of course, he came onto the scene as an explosive Reinhardt, but you can't just be a Rein anymore. Overwatch does not allow for it. You have to have a Winston in your kit. And he would have been one of my choices to go to the World Cup team. That's how highly I think of Super. And you saw his cleave damage always taking down 2 supports. When he Super is in the kill feed as a tank, it's never 1 kill. It's 2 or 3. He's always getting multiples.
tank play is the determining factor right now for LG Evil in my mind, and it works out when you consider their history, as we alluded to in the middle of the cast, where historically they had really just well-supported Reinhardt engages. Now they've found it within themselves to have much better coordinated Winston Diva engages, where the tanks themselves, before the DPS had even contributed a whole lot, were able to maybe get a support in the back line, and that makes the rest of the fight so much easier to convert. That said, you did see good tank moments coming in from Kungarna as well towards the very end, and in fact, they got those most frequently when everything was on the line. They were in overtime and desperately had to get those last few meters to get the point.
Yeah, and I want to see them flip that tank battle back in favor of Kungarna from their perspective, because what I think it could allow them to do is give more of that room to Baby Bay. We saw them struggling on that first point, and as soon as Baby Bay got up to glass, was able to get some high ground advantage, that's when they were able to punch it through. And the problem is that they look like they're on their back foot, and that starts with your tanks. Your tanks have to be the ones pushing forward. And then, of course, another big aspect of that is Dogman able to then heal your tanks as they are dictating the flow of the game?
One thing that I think is going to be really important for Kungarna to avoid going forward is that LG Evil very clearly had points in the map that they wanted to engage on heavily. It was no surprise that going the server room on first, that it was something like 3 pushes in a row where you had the same exact dive in the same close quarters when they were trying to rotate around to the high ground.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I mean, we saw Baby Bay on the Widow there for just a bit.
Yeah.
We talked about Jake on it earlier. It seems like, well, obviously feast or famine to some extent, but it seems like a lot of teams have answers to that. Are we going to see Jake on it again, or is he going to come out of the gate on a Genji, on a Soldier 76 potentially?
I think he could play a Genji. I think Kungarna, and what I've seen them play recently, and of course it's a reformed team, I haven't seen a ton of tape on them, they like to play very defensive, which is kind of what teams used to play on this map. You used to get first point for free. You used to get car wash for free, so much so that they just removed that point for the game. There used to be a checkpoint under car wash, but it didn't matter. Everyone always got it. But Baby Bay will sit up at top of glass. That's where they like to set him up. They don't want to play forward and then have to run back there. They play a very standard defense, let you come to them. So you can either run a Widow to deal with that, you can run a Diva and a Winston, you can run a Genji. There's a multiple different answers, but you know exactly where Kungarna is going to set up.
For me, it's interesting because Gibraltar, particularly on first, has really evolved to be a multifaceted point where not all defenses are the same. Not all offenses are the same. It's something where you see teams really sort of express more individual personality in how they want to run it. Some teams like Rogue, very aggressive, getting directly into your face. Other teams, more willing to be defensive, and though you don't give up quite as much for free, we'll see teams really clutch on the high ground a little bit more heavily.
Well, before we go back into game, I want to just make sure everyone knows we are just in a quick pause as we're watching LG Evil face off against Kungarna here on the first map that is Watchpoint Gibraltar. I'd also like to take this time to remind you to make sure you're visiting our website for brackets, details on the teams, and a whole lot of other information. It's overwatchcontenders.com, as we're all watching all of these amazing teams in their pursuit of that coveted Overwatch League in our future. But it looks like we're going to be going back into game right now. Gentlemen, take it away here for the second half of this map.
Well, we are back on Watchpoint Gibraltar, Hex, as sunny as it may be. And LG Evil in a great position to take this first map.
I love outdoor maps because it reminds me that the sun exists. So many times I'm broadcasting from home and I haven't seen the sun in 3 days. Here we've been in the studio all day, and these lights are a poor proxy for the sun, but it's nice. Hollywood and Gibraltar are always my favorites to go to start days off.
Sometimes I'm okay in getting a break from the sun. Denver is actually really sunny right now,
Yes.
and I might have burned in under 2 minutes outside. It's really sad.
Yeah,
Mostly
you are like a fork in the microwave. As soon as you walk outside and the sun hits you, sparks fly off of him. And yeah, that day at the zoo, ZP saw the sun and just went and immediately bought a bottle of sunscreen.
It was really high
Immediately.
SPF too, let me tell you. All right, so taking a look here at the defense coming out here from the Kungarna side. It does appear to be another heavily dive center defense, but Baby Bay will be the muscle in the back line.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of the target of this dive is to create space for Baby Bay. Meanwhile, for LG Evil, you take a look at how they're going to be running this. You got to think that Train will be looking to get to the back and disrupt that as much as possible.
Yeah, muscle in the back line, but it's of note that Dogman will be up there the entire time with him. So if they send in a single tank or a single person to try to disrupt him, they will be slept and they will be dealt with immediately. So you just see this poke coming out. Interesting that Train is on the Genji. We talk about his versatility, but he's going to have to get in there with Super, with Bull, if they want any chance of successfully dislodging Baby Bay.
One thing that's really worth noting here is Kungarna is giving up a lot of space for free. This is more
how
old
they
school
play it.
Gibraltar defense right now, as you were alluding to in the early game analysis, but here comes Train. Dives in, deflecting on the sleep dart, has to back out early on, and does get taken down in the end. So not quite the engage he was looking for, though. Somewhat disruptive, and it's Bishu again, really being the solid backline here for Kungarna, where we didn't touch on too much last game, but when Kungarna was doing well, a lot of it didn't come off Bishu getting incredible value.
Yeah, Remix is a little bit overlooked and underrated in my opinion too. I think he stays alive in a lot of situations where Winston should not be staying alive by any means. They will get the cleanup there. Baby Bay gonna take the long stairs up to his comfort zone up top near glass, and that's about as typical as a defense as you're gonna expect to see. It's what we expected Kungarna to play, and Luminosity has to commit more to that dive. If Train's going in, they have to send everyone in. You can't halfway go in on a dive like that.
No, Train was just taken down. Everyone in Kungarna basically turned and focused on him, and then once he was down early on, there was a lot of offensive punching power just gone from LG Evil. That said, much more effective this time. Bishu going to fall. He was defect early on, and now a 6v5 opportunity for LG Evil. Everyone very healthy as they go in. It's gonna be down to Pulse Bomb Attack Visor to turn this around. Baby Bay, the Attack Visor is out, but really not able to get much of anything. LG Evil was able to dive for cover, and now the Attack Visor is over. Super is Primal Rage, and things are going terribly for Kungarna.
All the ults have come out for LG Evil as Train is able to slice through a few of them. Dogman down. That is all LG Evil in a kill feed. First point getting captured easily. Let's see if they can ride this momentum. So important on Gibraltar's second. This split spawn does not do well for Remix and Mykles, and this is going bad to worse. This is ideal for your offense on Gibraltar, though.
LG Evil is absolutely ecstatic at that turn of events. Remix, not so much, where when that happens, you just sort of have to eat the death, unfortunately.
Yeah, not the best meal right there, but Gibraltar infamous for its split spawn potential, and they just got caught out there. Unfortunate. Super getting a ton of cleave damage in. The Trank will come down, and Primal Rage trying to counter it out, but he's going to be discorded, so Primal Rage might not last too long.
Super effectively leading the Dogman's early death there. Both Zenyatta's out of the game, though. Target number 1 here. And again, is getting rather scrappy here, back on the point. 4 versus 4. Soundbear is down here from LG Evil, though. Slight advantage of poking back and forth, but with Jake falling, it's still very even as Train now looking to put the rest on his back and does just that. The dash reset picking up 1 towards the end. And now LG Evil is going to win this fight as close as it was. And this is going to get them right to the brink of taking second.
The last couple of fights have been won by LG Evil by a matter of millimeters, and it's largely because Mykles is just not getting the stick. They've been so close. If he sticks that one in the server room the previous fight, that's probably 3 kills. If he sticks that one there, they might get 2 because they've been clumping up together. So Mykles is on the verge of bringing these fights back, just unable to connect these pulse bombs in the manner in which he needs to.
Well, Kungarna will get one last attempt at delay here on second. The Attack Visor already out here from Baby Bay, but again, not really getting what he's looking for. I mean, it's more zoning vibes than anything else. That said, Mykles taking advantage. However, it's Jake and Train coming back in on their own, trying to even this out. Not quite as explosive as they would have hoped.
No, it looked like it was going to be something big, but Baby Bay is able to just get them down without the help of a visor, and then the cleanup is what this composition can excel at. Tracer getting the late kills there on the cleanup. So important for defense to win a fight here on Shuttle, to be able to set up, to be able to stabilize, because you can roll through second phase of a lot of maps, actually, if you can just ride that momentum. So able to win that one fight, able to stabilize. It'll be interesting to see where Kungarna sets up. A lot of teams like sitting on top of the Shuttle, but some teams will just stay on the bridge now too. One
thing that's worth noting here is you take a look at the ult situation in the game. Kungarna is in a very good shape here. They not only have position on second, they only have to defend for 2 minutes. So you're going to open this up here with the Transcendence out from LG Evil, but it's kind of rough. They don't really catch anyone out from Kungarna. Kungarna's just able to back out, and now they're going to re-engage the barrier of their own. Baby Bay might be getting zoned out of the fight here by Super, and then some, but Kungarna is doing lots of damage to the back line as this is going on, but Super, he does more himself, booping and bopping everyone around. And you talk about tanks doing work, Super just going off.
He had it set up perfectly. You could just see he's smashing that Q when he saw 2 people in the corner and he had Primal Rage ready. He was ready to go FGC, gets the combo in the corner. Another kill as Lucio's trying to break it down. It is a well-known fact that Winston hates music.
Yes. He does not like breaking it down. He really doesn't have much of a music taste.
No, he can't dance. That's the reason, is because he can't dance.
It all makes sense.
Yeah, it all comes together.
So, LG Evil able to break through. The yellow box victory is before them, Hex, and they have 2.5 minutes to get here. Kungarna going to need to restabilize quickly and then hold. However, the early trade-outs here not necessarily going to help them as much as they want. They're down poops early on. However, with Super being down and how much they've relied on Super, it still could work out in Kungarna's favor.
It's worth a trade for Mykles to get that pulse bomb in there. Rob will go down as well, so it's going to be very difficult to continue this push without one of your best supports. They are just getting a little bit here. Jake's going to go for it. Pops the visor.
Jake right now, not really seeing too much, but a lot of the people already down to begin with. Still, Kungarna respawns flooding back out. They still have to hold for 1:30 as LG Evil threatening, almost at that all-important box of victory.
They have to stay on the cart here. Rob does a nice job of going back into the Matrix to keep himself alive. The music's getting a little bit intense right now, but that's a nice push just with the couple of shots from Baby Bay to push them out of there. Rob got too low that they had to disengage.
And now the real trouble for LG Evil is they're going to have to send full and Super after Baby Bay immediately, because not only does he have a great position here, he has attack visors to back it up.
Yeah.
Remix can also cause havoc in the back, so this is a challenge for LG Evil. Multiple threats to be dealt with here early on as 8 minutes remains. Here comes attack visor on top. Baby Bay uses it immediately, but Super is right in his face, and he's just got nullified outright.
Yeah, I figured Super was going to be the one who was going to have to go up there, but Mykles will find a stick, does take down Avast on the other side of the map right now. Another couple of kills come in here. Trade hits the bomb of his life.
That was a great bomb, and that could be the game winner here as LG Evil polishes off Kungarna. The last few members falling, the payload moving to its final destination, and that is going to be it. LG Evil taking map number 1.
What I like about Super is that he almost always has Primal Rage up. It's a testament to how much cleave damage he does on entry, on exit. He's always building it up. He had Primal Rage like 3 times in the last like 2 minutes.
It's not just that he was getting Primal Rage and cleaving people, he was also finishing off kills.
Yeah.
He was really doing multiple jobs at once there where, what more can you ask for a Winston?
I mean, you could ask more, but it'd be unreasonable. And you got as much as you can reasonably expect from Winston there. And then Train, we talked about him before entering it. He hits his pulse bomb here. And that sealed the map.
Yeah.